Frosted.
Was it Louis Vuitton, or was it the Cali?
Is that Reggie OG, my boy?
Oh shit, it's that straight OG.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, my cord got stuck on my wheel for some reason. But welcome
Oh
back,
god. Welcome back.
everyone. Episode 10 of the High Rollers. We're Frosted. We're high. We got a lot of news to talk to you guys about. I'm West,
This is RC.
and we're just hitting some street OG right now. To be honest, bro.
Dude, I've got that bong coming in too.
Oh shit! Prepare for Sunday.
Should have that for Sunday.
Yeah, just let me know, cause I'll just leave my smoke stuff at your place if in case it doesn't come in. I'll just bring my bong and
For
that'll
sure.
be cool.
I got you.
But yeah, otherwise, welcome, episode 10. It's kind of crazy. We already have 10 of these coming out for you guys, and all the listeners that have made it to 10, thank you. Like, I'm also somewhat sorry for the brain rot that is somewhat on the cast, but
Oh yeah.
we appreciate y'all.
We appreciate you
Right.
guys sticking with us through the shit posting.
Especially last episode. Thanks again for Aaron, for coming on out as a guest and talking about the stumble. Try out of stumbles. But I guess just to start off with the opening introduction, we're going to be, at least within next week, within this time, we're going to be at BGT or Universal Orlando, which are either or. But we're going to be in Florida again. And so within the next cast, we're going to have another trip report for you guys. I know you are just love Orlando. You just cannot get enough of it. That's why you've gone how many times?
Right. Yeah.
Within the past
I think it's
6
like
months.
I think in the past year I have like 8 Orlando trips or something like that.
Jesus.
I think it's like 5 flying, 3 driving.
I mean, luckily for summer, it gives you a reason to not go as much because more parks are
Yeah,
open.
I know, and it like won't be as busy, so
Yeah.
it's chill. I'll go back for Horror Nights. I probably won't because
Ooh.
I just went, and I guess that was late February, and then we're going this coming week. So
Yeah,
after that, I'll probably be done till Horror Nights.
you said you weren't too happy with the latest. Like, obviously it's a speculation map, but
Yeah,
you weren't happy with
yeah.
basically the people's speculations.
I don't know. The IPs don't look as interesting as I was hoping, so
I
that's
mean,
all good though.
for me, a lot of the times, I'm not the person to ask for like IPs because I'm not necessarily a horror fan. So I'm kind of just like,
Yeah.
generally, if they can make something out of, make something out of Horror Nights, generally they always hit the mark. And if not, they make that improvement
Oh
anyway.
yeah.
So
I'm still super excited to go back.
yeah,
Like that is probably my favorite event behind Hollywood Nights, and after going just 1 year, I already want to go back. So
like I literally hear nothing but good stuff. Like it's one of the events I've heard literally for decades at this point. um,
yeah.
and yeah, out of any event, probably in amusement park industry, that is probably the one I want to go to the most. Just because I've heard about it, it has so much history, and it's crazy that essentially they turned what is Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure is its own thing, but they turned Universal Studios into a completely different park and a completely different atmosphere, and I find that just so like no other park can even hit the same. It
Yeah.
seems
Not
like
even close.
so. Yeah, that's why I gotta go, and I love being scared, even though it's hard to necessarily scare me, I guess. But I love jump scared. I love being jump scared. So
Oh yeah. I mean it's amazing. So
yeah. So if you guys want to check that out, the speculation map, it's on social medias all over the place. In fact, shout outs to Coaster Talk because they recently, I don't know if they were spotted to do it on their cast, but they recently did it on their cast. So go ahead and catch it at the end of I think their last episode, where they recently shouted us out too, saying we might be more of a coaster related cast in their recent shit posts. And I was like, hey, we'll take it. We'll take all the listeners. But nah. If you guys, like I said, if you haven't heard Coaster Talk, go listen to them. Obviously, a big friend of our cast, Timmy's been on here, but I guess that's it for all of the shoutouts and the introduction. We got news. I didn't even know where to start really, because there's a lot of just filler. And there's a lot of the actual meat. Like, what is the topic of the week? Breaking news. But I guess let's just go with the recurring topic of we still don't know what the hell is happening with Top Thrill Dragster.
Oh, yeah.
But regardless of that, the Winter Chill Out just happened, and a lot of information came out with Cedar Point for this 2023 season. So yeah, you even put the picture on the Discord. So
yeah,
I guess
I think it's most interesting that they said Iron Dragon is gonna reopen, but there's missing track segments.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean,
Iron Dragon's old. What's that? I think it's 1979. So like.
I guess you could say the same thing for
1987. Sorry.
I guess you could say the same thing when we saw like Grizzly. Just missing its drop, you could be like, oh, they're just getting rid of Grizzly. But it's more for the story. It makes more sense since it's right next to Top Thrill. It's rumored they're doing a big layout change, right?
Yeah, that's likely where the Spike supports and stuff are gonna it seems like I could see it happening.
Yeah, I'd say it's plausible. They did confirm it is opening for this year, so. If it does, then that kind of does put a nip on like Iron Dragon going away for the Top Thrill layout at least. But it is an arrow suspended and it is old, so I could definitely see at least after, especially with the route that they're going. What it seems like after Cedar Point Winter Chill Out, it seems like that family experience and generally like we're not all about throw rides and big investments in rides. That seems to not have worked out for Cedar Point because they're getting rid of a lot of the stuff that they try to build up for that, and I don't know if they even gave it enough time to simmer. But let's just go over the things that they're getting rid of. So Mac Shack is gone, which I'm assuming is very similar to Mac Bowl at King's Dominion. Mm-hmm. People were a fan of that. I know people are upset to see it go. Forbidden Frontier, that was a very new addition. I know that came right after Steve, or with Steve maybe. They had like actors and whole experiences there, right? Like you could just
they had a boat ride too.
Yeah. Oh, I think the boat ride is staying, from what I heard. That's good. But I know that was probably a part of the whole theming because like it was like
right.
From what I've heard, it was almost like not even like it was almost like its own place in Cedar Point because there was themed actors, like experiences you can build and find a story there. There are treasure hunts and like you can spend hours at that part of the park alone if you wanted to.
Right.
And so that is sad to hear, in my opinion, that it didn't get the pull that they, I guess, wanted from it because I love stuff like that at parks. Even though I don't. Recently, I've been coasters. Like if I have the chance and if it's there or if it's something not even for coasters and that's the main thing, I'm for it because I'm a role playing guy. I love D&D. That sounds awesome. So really unfortunate it didn't go through. I'm not sure what Wild Turnip is. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
But no more Wild Turnip. I'm gonna have to look it up after. So they got rid, or there is no first rider or pass holder preview event at all for the Wild House.
It looks like Wild Turnip was another food place.
Huh, closing more food places.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when we were walking around recently, in September, it did feel like they had so many food places. Like to the point where even some like genres overlapped. Like quite a few times.
Like at Backbeat compared to the Farmhouse and stuff.
So I'm not even sure I'm mad that they're getting rid of food options because it's almost too much, but maybe the right ones because it
It
seems
looks
like
like it was
Match
a.
had fans.
It looks like they got the wild turnip was like a vegetarian vegan menu that they got rid of.
See, I don't
I could
know.
see. Well, I could see it being like unpopular enough to where they could get rid of it because there's not that many people eating there compared to the other places.
I could see that, but getting rid of all the more niche options instead of the look Cedar Fair, you got barbecue. We get it.
Well, and
You
I
got
believe
chicken
aren't they
tenders.
losing Chick-fil-A as well?
Yeah,
Is
I think
Cedar
every
Point
Cedar
losing their
Fair
Chick? Yeah.
is losing their
So,
Chick-fil-A.
I mean, they're losing a lot of stuff.
Now, my guess on the Chick-fil-A's is they're doing that because they want to build up more of their own food. They have chefs at almost all their parks now.
Yeah.
It makes sense to push more your own fare instead of having
Competitors.
I mean, they already have competitors outside, so like I don't know, it makes
Yeah.
sense to also have a
Have 'em
competitor
in the
inside.
park.
Because a lot of people like will just wait to eat outside of the park because of the prices, you know. But
Yeah.
I think they're trying to because obviously we have a meal plan, so it's a little different. But even before I got my meal plan, I didn't hate paying for like a good meal at Outpost, a good meal at Grand and Grill, or even Jukebox now with the chicken pot pie. Because it was just good food. Like I legitimately
Yeah.
felt full and like I felt like it was like nutritious meal comparatively to where like the burgers from Jukebox 2 years ago
Oh,
were
God.
worse than BK level. Like
Abysmal. Totally abysmal.
uh yeah, so I hope that they just at least they bring back some more interesting options because fortunate. But yeah, no first rider event or pass holder preview for Old Mouse. I guess that makes sense. It's more of a family edition, but I also you could say the same thing is happening at other parks. Like you had just recently, I didn't even think it needed it, but Serengeti Flyer had its preview for pass holders and everyone
Right.
hyping up this SNS
So
Scream and Swing.
ridiculous. So ridiculous.
And I'm like, happy for you guys. It's a Scream and Swing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we're having a big hoorah for the 29th Scream and Swing in the U.S., but nonetheless, yeah, like I think it's for these smaller editions. I don't know if they necessarily need them. Dark Coaster maybe is big enough, but even then, like that's where I
Sure.
push it. Yeah, exactly. I'm
Sure.
like,
I mean,
sure.
well, look, because I mean, if they did Serengeti Flyer, of course they're gonna do Dark Coaster
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so ridiculous.
Like they're even doing it now, where if you have a pass holder preview, which we're gonna talk about there later, you have a construction hat tour, which I've seen a few of my homies actually gone through. I might have to look at some of the footage later, which seems interesting. But all the good stuff you can't even get, like the actual show building. So, like everything they're showing off, you can see. And I don't want to sign anything on Dark Coaster. I'm good. Let me sign the one on the RMC. That's coming
Right.
behind the Fest House.
Right. Literally.
But more stuff for Cedar Point. The Town Hall Museum remodel was no longer in plan. I've never stepped foot in the Town Hall anytime I've been to Cedar Point, so I don't know the condition of it. I'm not even sure I know where it is.
Yeah, I have no clue. I'm not gonna lie.
So for me, this is kind of just over my head. Doesn't really affect me. No plans for repainted Maverick. Unfortunate, but I guess not the end of the world. I'm not sure really the last time they have repainted anything in Cedar Point necessarily. But it doesn't look bad from what I remembered.
Yeah.
So it's not like Intimidator level. It's not 305 where it's literally pink. No entrance to Grand Pavilion from the boardwalk. That's that's the whole new area, right? That's kind of interesting. There's no that. They got rid of
Yeah.
they got rid of pass holder ride nights, which is unfortunate. It gets rid of a perk of having a pass, you know. I know some people last year, the few years they had it, they were appreciating it, and all because it's not as big. Maybe you got to do something to grow, right? All right, Cedar Fair, because that's what it's seeming like the trend is of all of this. Because like, the end of all of this here, the early entry list is is coming soon. So they're gonna have early entry. It seems like, which I think they already had, but they're gonna have a list for it. So I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Which rides are included?
Oh, okay. So. Early entry ride list. So that's basically all the news from Winter Chill Out. Besides, obviously, the Top Thrill, them teasing, poking, prodding, and the biggest news that came out of it was the Iron Dragon stuff. Like, so Iron Dragon's supposed to reopen in 2023, but it is missing some track at the moment. People are speculating it has to do with the new layout. But yeah, from last episode we talked essentially they might adding new track to the top hat. And as of recently, they have been making the cameras, the webcams, the Cedar Point, they've been making them static very often. Instead of showcasing, generally the top hat or the other rides from afar, all of them have been static. And before that, there was a drill rig there, like a drill truck, and there was a pickup moving other things before they made it static. So, just food for thought. Basically, we still don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, just like anyone else. Until they say and show us a layout, they are teasing until, I'm going to assume, like, the very end of summer, like August. That's where we're going to finally get, like, what the hell is happening. And until then, we're probably not going to see much until the first people get back in the park in May. Or spring break, I think, like April. So, just juicy stuff. More juicy than at least last time. Besides the El Toro Ryan. Yeah, trust me, bro. And we trust him because he's Jesus. Nonetheless.
Apparently it's just like Cedar Point's just cost cutting. And like all of the things that they're doing here, pretty much.
Yeah. That's why, I don't know. I think they pulled the plug a little too soon, in my opinion. For some of these things, like Forbidden Frontier, maybe I can understand because having all of that work and it, from what I heard, for how well it did for a Cedar Fair park, that's money. You got to pay those actors. You got to keep up the theming and like all that coherency there.
Yeah.
So I can understand getting rid of that if it really did not have the pull that it wanted to. But for the food options, I think, like I said, there's a lot of overlap. So seeing the more niche options go away kind of sucks. Because, like, I'm a person that, I know you will just get a pork, honey hosen pork at Grand & Grill every single time at Katy. And you have no issue. It is so good, so I don't blame you. But, like, I like knowing that I can get good variety. Like, knowing that it's there, and I'm, like, knowing that, like, I can go to Bird Dogs today. Oh, I can go to Outpost today. And still having it be super good. It's unfortunate to see that, I'm probably just going to Backbeat now and Farmers, and I don't know what pizza place they have, but you got to know they have the same Cedar Fair pizza. And especially because, the vegetarian thing, it's like, that's somewhat important because there are people literally, like, you're forcing them to go out of their way in a park.
I started thinking about park food because of this, and I was like, have I ever been anywhere where I really hated the food? And like I didn't think so, but SeaWorld San Antonio, terrible.
What did you get?
Brisket. It was horrible.
Bro.
Yeah,
SeaWorld's good with brisket too, like
SeaWorld San Antonio had really bad brisket the one time that I ate there.
That's also a party foul because how do you make bad brisket in Texas?
I know. Like, yeah.
Nah.
Other than that, I don't know if I've ever had bad park food, though. I can always find something.
Okay, the jukebox burgers were were pretty bad.
That's true. Like I said earlier, those were abysmal. I still stand by that.
I would say generally yes. Over the years, like before, like 10 years ago, park food was terrible. Like I would be like, I'm just gonna wait every time. I'll commit to the BK outside of Katy. I don't care.
Oh God.
And now, yeah, I can almost agree with you. Like if I do have If I don't have a meal plan, I do have to go to like Six Flags or something and get some. It's even then, it's not bad. Like it's average. It's edible.
It is edible.
Yeah, it's.
Oh God.
It gets the job done, right? I can get on with my Wildwood rides and then go home and get sheets when I'm back in VA.
Always get sheets on the way home.
So I'm gonna just talk about this intimate patents because there was just so many of them, and essentially you guys are gonna have to look them up yourselves because there was stuff for like new, essentially it looks like almost a surf coaster but with like spinning seats on them. Obviously, if you guys are on Reddit, there was the Falcon's Flight height marker that got dropped, which 656 foot height marker, 200 meters. And the Camelback is rumored to be taller than every standing roller coaster that it has a chain lift. After that drop, apparently. So, of course, the source is trust me, bro. But besides the height marker, like, Jesus Christ. So, Intamin has a lot of new patents coming out. It's like 800-page document. So, if you are a nerd and want to go through that and see everything that they're putting out new, that's some interesting stuff. Aquaman finally is opening. It's open for pass holders, so people are beginning their rides. People are saying it's pretty good. They're actually having a great time on it for what it's worth. And they're saying the airtime's actually good on it, on the airtime hill. So I was kind of surprised. So we got baited by...
I'm not going to lie. I'm rolling my eyes. Just the meme. Six Flags Over Texas Aquaman.
I think, like, if I want to get wet, it's definitely going to get the job done because I'm seeing the after rides and just that splash looks actually incredible. I love seeing water rides when I'm walking by and like really good splashes and seeing people like enjoying getting wet. So that's going to be a big hit in that aspect. Kids are going to love that. It's going to be a great way to cool down even if you don't want to get on the ride, especially in the Texas heat, 100 degrees consistent. Yeah. So yeah, finally it's open and I do find it troll because we're going to be talking about the Six Flags news later. That was the big thing they added for their 2023 slate for Over Texas. But nonetheless, we got baited earlier a few casts ago when we Screamscape because they're not the most reputable. They'll get things wrong more often than not. But officially, Area Force One is opening March 31st. Six Flags Atlanta and Fun Spot Atlanta. God. And yeah, so get ready for that. If that's official now, Fun Spot has announced it. If you want to get down there and be one of the first to ride, March 31st. Pipeline is testing soon. The trains are sitting on the track. I'm honestly surprised it's not testing now. They were on the track like last week. So I'm assuming within the next few days or next week, we're going to be seeing that puppy going around and then probably talks about previews a little bit after.
Yeah.
And Super Nintendo World is officially open. I wanted to see just what crowds were looking like there because it looks like a Hogsmeade situation with how tight it is.
I was talking with someone that was telling me like they were basically kind of like open the whole time. Like they've like been open for a while. They just like didn't announce it or something.
So they're basically letting people in anyway. Even with, like,
that's what I was hearing.
You know,
it's insane.
As a company, like it's just good. It's like good. It's good on the company, I guess, because it lets people be like, hey, Universal did this for us. Good word of mouth. Right. They probably didn't do it the peak hours, but probably like when it was a little bit lower, they're like, hey, and people asked or like walked up. They're probably like, hey, you want to just come in?
Right.
I mean, it looks good on them. It's probably why they did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Super Nintendo World, I cannot wait for the one in Epic Universe. All the stuff there looks so charming. Looks like one of the best theme worlds ever to exist. And I even just throw it in here real quick because it's not on the news. Epic Universe construction, it is moving just out of nowhere. Just
Yeah,
facades
that.
coming up.
Oh my gosh, the dueling mock.
Yeah, the dueling mock, the How to Train Your Dragon coaster. Well, the rumored How to Train Your Dragon coaster, but the spinning coaster in the other area, just man.
Yeah,
I
insane.
I say we should, because it's so close to Universal, like in general, we should just go by the highway and just see the construction real quick. Why not? But oh, so yeah. Before we get into like, because I'm looking at the news now. Before we get into some rainy shit, Screen Break was announced for Magic Mountain as of when I wrote this like a week ago. But just to jump into the slate, it's looking like Screen Break is for every single Six Flags park that has a spring break.
Ah,
Yeah, they announced that in the 2023 slate, which I thought was really interesting.
yeah.
I mean, people love haunts. They love Halloween. They love being scared. And generally, for the parks, it is the most revenue they see, like spike-wise. Like, that is when they hit capacity a lot of the times. So, I don't think, maybe they're not trying to hit capacity at these times, but for, generally speaking, spring break is for teenagers, college students. And that demographic of haunts and horror definitely hits that. So they're probably trying to really piggyback of the fact that, you know, these guys are going to be off for their school. They're going to want to do something rowdy. Hopefully it doesn't get too rowdy in the parks, but yeah. What are your thoughts about that?
I mean, I don't know. I could also see the POV where it's like they just didn't want to take down their haunted houses and they might not have taken them down. Like, and they're just gonna redo the same stuff that they did during their haunt season, like this past year, 2022.
I wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me if they have less too. Just like
Yeah, like they
if,
like maybe they didn't take down like two of their IPs and they're just gonna use those two. Like, I don't know, it just seems kind of. I feel like
yeah, I'm not sure it's
I
gonna
don't
work
know.
at every single Six Flags park. Is the thing. I think Fiesta and Magic Mountain, it's perfect because those are your, at this point, those are your flagships.
Right.
So you're seeing the most guests. I guess that's not even true because I thought Fiesta kind of struggled with guests for a little bit, but
Right.
I guess that's where you're seeing the most money being put in, right? So I guess it makes sense if they're putting money in those parks. They also have enough in the budget to potentially have facades put back up or get actors to come back or whatnot. Yeah. I think it's gonna be a little odd, you know. It's gonna be April, and you're gonna be hearing haunt and Halloween music going around the parks. Might be a little like jarring at first, but for the fans of the genre, it's nothing but a win in my opinion. And yeah, that's basically it before all the. Actually, hold up. Universal Studios Japan might. It's like a rumor. It's a rumor that's going around. I know I'm following a few Japanese coaster enthusiasts on Twitter, so they're saying that Universal Studios Japan might replace Spider-Man with a Pokemon Dark ride, but also generally Universal insider, like a lot of Universal insiders on Twitter are somewhat confirming this.
Right.
That it's probably happening. That sounds cool. I think video games and parks needed to be done long ago, and not like Plants vs Zombies, to where it's like literally I'm playing a game in a park in the worst way possible. I want to experience like being immersed in that world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is I think that'd be cool if that does happen. Did you see the trains for Mandrill Mayhem? Finally, the covers.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone's saying they look pretty scary.
yeah. I think they're gonna scare kids. Just giant baboons holding you. That's gonna be cool. I was looking at this for a while, and they've been doing heavy testing on it too. The launches look pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They look pretty forceful. I wouldn't say snappy, but forceful.
Did you see the Legoland wing coaster trains as well?
Those trains look amazing. Yes.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, those look really good. They
yeah.
literally look like just giant Legos. I would like. Obviously, they're not, but it literally looks like they just have giant Legos and put them together for a train.
Yeah,
It's so good.
yeah.
So last two things here before we get into two of the meats, the meaty meats of the news. Is this new Vekoma ride, this new model. It's coming to Hasseland, which is a new theme park coming
In
to
Poland. Yeah.
Poland is looking like a big destination for.
I saw something about if you fly into Berlin, there's good routes to this new park.
Hmm.
So,
And because generally speaking, isn't Berlin not that close to a lot of the German parks?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's like quite a bit from a lot of the German parks. But if you go elsewhere, yeah, that'll work out. So
Yeah.
this model looks wild. When I look at the concept, I kind of can't even tell where this top hat starts, but it looks big. That's all. It looks like it's overarching and massive. Vekoma has a lot of models. Now, what I will say, it seems like a lot of them do definitely hit a little bit of a blur of what am I choosing for what exact reason, because this just looks like a bigger version of a Wildcat, or what's a Wildcat to the Blitz or the Space Warp, or you know what I mean? Like Jesus,
Yeah.
there's just so many. To me, when I look at them too, it's like they generally look the same. It's just one has a chain lift, one has launches, and one's slightly taller. I don't know.
Yeah.
They all look great, regardless. So that's gonna be interesting to see. It's looking like it's gonna be happening. They have this concept up, so we'll see how that progress goes. The last of it, let me see. Oh yeah, Grizzly. So we're getting these fancy smancy pre-cut track from Gravity Group, because that's some glossy wood on it. Did you see the? So you guys check Kings Dominion social medias. They should have put up some an update for Restore the Roar. They seem to have finished the fan turn and now are working on the drop. And yeah, the pre-cut track looks good. I think it's gonna be. I'm hoping it runs so. I'm hoping we get such a good ride, man. Like I'm hoping it just like shoots up my rankings, dude, because of this.
Same.
Like I'm hoping it's like not a shitpost top 3 for me.
Yeah.
And finally, last two of the news, and we're gonna. So Velocicoaster on Express.
Hold on. Did you see there's gonna be a new Buc-ee's
Oh
in
yeah.
Central Florida in Ocala?
So how far is that from like Universal and I guess Disney and SeaWorld?
So from Universal, it's gonna be. So this is actually looks like an hour and 15. So it's like around the same distance like where Daytona is,
Yeah.
but just you're going northwest instead of northeast, unfortunately.
Well, that unfortunately doesn't change anything for the Buc-ee's fans. Unless
Yeah,
you
I think it
live.
might actually be shorter to go to the one in Daytona Beach because I think that's only an hour.
Yeah, unless you live in Ocala, then good on
Yeah.
you. But
I mean, that'd be nice if you. That's like pretty close to Gainesville too.
yeah.
Ocala is so. That's not bad.
So sticking to Florida though, if you're an enthusiast, you probably heard the discourse. A Velocicoaster being one of the rides now for Express at Universal. There have been, I would say the majority now, pretty big majority, that says this is an L. In general, it's an L. Like, regardless of our next point.
Yeah, corporate greed.
Because, yeah, just corporate greed. Like, the ride is efficient enough to where you don't really need it. You really don't. And I don't think, and it's going to be a rant for later, I don't think even there's going to be ever a skip the line that really ever feels good. Because we got rid of the one that did. But regardless, RC, I'm starting to believe your point a little bit, but we will see this in actual practice when we go. Literally, the day we get there, it will be back off of refurbishment. So, Hagrid's is on refurbishment at the moment, and the same time that it went on refurbishment, they put Express on Velocicoaster. And to say the lines got long is an understatement. I think like 300 minutes was the longest. Was the biggest I've seen. Like on like the worst day when it first happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was consistently over 2 hours at least for the first week or so. Now, that was a President's Day, right? That was or that was the week after.
So it was like that. So that weekend, it closed President's Day weekend. It closed on, I want to say, it was Monday the 20th. Or so it operated on the 20th, and then it was closed the 21st. So it's closed from the 21st to the 5th, I believe, of March. And that's when you saw. So Velocicoaster was already, it was long because it was a holiday weekend. And then once Hagrid's closed, you still saw Velocicoaster sitting above 2 hours. Like, so it was still a long wait with Express being active. So yeah, so they closed. So Hagrid's was open on Monday the 20th, and I believe they also rolled out Express that day. And then I also experienced the park on Wednesday the 22nd, while Express was active and Hagrid's was closed. And on that day in particular, the Velocicoaster wait time was still above 2 hours. Now I think like this week we've seen it hasn't been that bad with Hagrid's being closed, and I think it might have just been holiday weekend crowds that affected that.
Yeah, but it did kind of linger for a while.
Yeah.
After.
It lingered like into this past weekend, and then this week it hasn't been bad.
Now, I'm starting to think that generally it is just like the most dead time probably for Universal and like Disney around this time of year. Because it's before spring break. It's like after like President's Day and like all this stuff you would take a date, I guess, for February or just President's Day. So yeah, like it's a dead time for parks in general. I don't see a reason for people to go.
The homies were at Busch Gardens Tampa yesterday, and everything was a walk-on, like sending empty trains. And apparently it's the same at SeaWorld today. So
I mean, that's SeaWorld even during the summer.
And then Universal's like low too.
Yeah, so. Like I looked at Universal yesterday, and everything, obviously besides Veloci and Hippogriff, because I think Hippogriff only runs one train, so that's the only reason for that.
Really?
Yeah, everything was under 20. Every single ride, like Kong, Rip Ride Rocket, Amazing Spider-Man, Hulk, Jurassic River Adventure, like all the big hitters were under an hour or under 20. And then Veloci was under 45, 30 for most of the day.
Yeah.
So it just, yeah, I'm hoping we get something like that. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
But on to Express, essentially, I think it exacerbated or can exacerbate because that line also takes single rider and it also takes disability access. So,
Well, the disability access has to go through the express lane, and I believe unless they like would specifically request to be accommodated up the exit.
yeah.
So, and they also have to do the VIP experience tours as well all day. So they'll just come in and take the front row or back row or whatever they want. They come up that side door when you're in the station. On the open gate side, not on the exit side, on the load side. It's like all the way at the end of the hallway whenever you stand on the side for front row.
Uh,
So that people come in that door and they're doing the VIP experience and they can just jump on wherever.
yeah, I
So like they have
was
like so many different things that go into play that it's like why? Why express and why now?
like, it was funny because when my first rides, I actually thought that was gonna happen. I was like, "What? Why are there people coming in through that door?" It's like right near the front row. It's like there's just a door.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the VIP one.
yeah, there's people like looking at the ride. I'm like, I think that was the Universal tour. I don't think that was like, I think
Yeah.
it was like a specific VIP tour. Like it wasn't like a. I don't know if there's one where you get rides as well, but like they definitely just looked at it and then just left. Like,
Mhm.
and I was like, okay. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that it doesn't really make too much sense because the ride itself, I think doesn't need it. Like, I get obviously it makes money, and but
Inevitably, it's corporate greed, so it's gonna, there's nothing we can do about it. But
it's because when
my
you,
my whole thing is I don't understand the timing of the whole thing.
I mean, when do you time it? Right? It's like you. It's because whenever you add an express, unless it's a super dead day, like
Well, it's
people are
like
gonna use it. So then it's gonna bog down the regular line.
my problem is I don't understand why they rolled it out whenever Hagrid's closed the day after they rolled it out for 2 weeks, which I fully believe that the demographic of riders that are not going to be able to ride Hagrid's because it's closed will at some point in their day go ride Velocicoaster at least one time. So,
I mean, I think they're only 6 inches apart in height requirement.
yeah.
So
So unless they're like physically barred from doing so and or don't have the courage, I imagine at some point they would at least ride it one time.
uh,
Just like logically, it would make sense that that would cause an increase in the Velocicoaster, like how many people visit that attraction. So I don't know why they did it for that reason, and I also don't know why they did it considering they don't have all of their trains available.
that was exactly what I was gonna bring up too. Is like
Yeah,
they are running even one less train than when we were there.
yeah.
Uh,
But like the thing is that doesn't really reflect on the fact that their operations are quote unquote slower because the person that I was visiting the park with was showing me like evidence that at their current dispatch time, they could still run 4 trains without stacking, like El Toro Ryan had said in his video. So like it isn't that they're slow ops, it's just that they do not have the trains repaired. So like I just don't know why they decided to do express now instead of waiting for when they have the trains and Hagrid being open. Like just makes no sense.
I think right now is the time to do the trains though because it is lighter part of the season. So I'm not gonna fault them
Yeah,
for that.
get him back up to 4,
Summer,
during
like
summer. Exactly.
yeah, like it's gonna be a 90-minute wait regardless because it's just summer season and everyone wants to go to Universal.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will be the true test of this Express BS in my opinion because, like, good God, if you already got it like being like that and then stack it with Express, then stack it with DA access, then stack it with single ride, just there was only used good one time, and it was getting rid of.
Did you
So
see the Tobu Zoo thing though?
what happened to Tobuzu?
The Regina,
Oh yeah,
it got redone by GCI.
I repost that on my Twitter because you could. They someone I think it was a Japanese
Yeah.
post. I need to look at it real quick. Yeah, it was a comparison of it before and after. And I think it's at least 8 seconds faster.
Wow.
Something like that. It's that thing
Definitely
is
something on the bucket list.
yeah, that thing is that thing got a good buff. Yeah, I guess that's the last little tidbit before Six Flags because there's a whole article for Six Flags to go over. This is probably the latest like slate ever released in history of amusement parks, but here we go. Six Flags being fashionably late as Jesus. Well, let's just get it started off here. So it seems like with a Great Adventure for 2023, they are getting a new area. It's gonna be like kind of what those the splash area is in a lot of other parks. The best way I can describe is like in do they still have it in Planet Snoopy? The one with like the big bucket and stuff for like you would fall and like be water and stuff so going around. They have them in water
And
parks.
it's Snoopy
I know they had it in like they had like a water area in the kids.
at King's Dominion?
Yeah, they might have got rid of it with
Not anymore.
yeah
Not anymore.
with all the
Yeah.
Nickelodeon stuff. But I
Yeah.
remember it just being there because they most of the time nowadays you'll see them in like water parks, like these
Right.
kind of like water playgrounds where it's like a play structure, tree house, and then 50 exciting play features, mini slides, waterfalls, and
Yeah.
obviously a water bucket. But that's gonna be just I think in the park. It's not gonna be in the water park.
Yeah.
So that's for Great Adventure. That's what they're getting. I think a good investment. Build up that, especially because they're. So the theme I've noticed here, they're definitely investing, but it looks like like they're setting up for certain parks. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, I get what you mean.
Like because right here in Six Flags Fiesta, like they got a 3-parter. They're getting a whole, like every single aspect of the park is getting something new. So starting off, Six Flags Fiesta Texas, the three capital of South Texas. That's what I was gonna say. High Rollers, the Thrill capital of South Texas, and Six Flags Over Georgia, Thrill capital of South. They debut the world's first single racing. So we talked about this. We literally announced on that cast like a few casts ago. But they have an actual name now. So they're going to be the Kid Flash Cosmic Coaster. Coming to both of those parks. They're going to be dueling Pescetti coasters. And so hopefully from their Skyline's change design and how much they're pushing it, it works fine. I'm honestly kind of interested just to see, like how it is. Why not? Yeah, and at least it's a unique credit, dueling Skylines, the first ever. I mean, they're gonna be. I think they're gonna run this dry, especially if they see any sort of like revenue from this. Like even if it's a % or two, they're gonna just put these at every park. But yeah, at least they're getting something. But Six Flags Fiesta Texas, it continues because they're also getting. And I have thoughts about this, but they're getting an Essex Gaming 5,000 square foot state of the art esports arena and campus with 50 custom built gaming PC stations, 5 console stations with a newest generation consoles, and a live esports event stage, much more.
Yeah.
So, as someone who is an esports enthusiast, this is cool. This is great. At the same time, I think they might have jumped into this market a little too late. Now, let me look up Essex. Is Essex Esports Arena? Because if they're Esports Arena specific. Okay. So, this is now I have more thoughts. So I do not like this investment for them. So like I said, there are esports arena. Esports arena is just like that's like a brand of like esports arena in general. So, but those are around. Like they have one in DC just now. Big for 2K, big for COD. There's in Cali. There's some in Texas. There's some. There's I think Florida has some now. And then now Six Flags is deciding to get an Essex gaming one in their park. I guess it could work, but specifically Essex is known for Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is not necessarily the biggest esport at the moment. Obviously you can host whatever you want in these. Maybe they'll push for tournaments, but last thought on the esports thing, it's kind of dying out at the moment, essentially. It's not as booming with like so many esports anymore. You have the mainstays. You will always have CS:GO. You will always have Dota. You will always have League. Rocket League is even getting to that point too. But are they only going to host those events there? Are they going to have the facilities to host those events there? Because those are multi-million-dollar, almost $100 million going into those productions. So, yeah. Interesting that they're doing that. But that's essentially, I think, puts the nail in the coffin for their stadiums and like live shows. For Fiesta Texas, at least. I don't know if Fiesta Texas has a stadium, actually. I don't remember. Do you know?
What?
If Fiesta Texas has a stadium?
I don't think
Like
they
for live
have
shows?
something. I think they have something like that. Not like a concert level venue, though. They have something smaller for like in-house productions.
Okay. So, they're just trying to modernize and look in a way of, okay, esports is a thing. Man, I'll be interesting to see how many events will be hosted there. I'm not sure if it's going to be too much. Because, like I said, a lot of the bigger esports, the mainstays, have their staples or their places they're going to go. So, it'll be interesting. But continuing with Six Flags Fiesta Texas, Hurricane Harbor. They're getting a water park expansion. So in all aspects and finishing off there, they are getting 11 new water slides and raft rides for younger guests. Very interesting considering that they apparently didn't do too well in attendance for this year. If I remember correctly.
Fiesta?
Yeah.
I would assume they're on the higher end of that spectrum for the parks.
Don't quote me on that. So, I didn't even know this park existed. But moving on, the Six Flags Whitewater. The Southeast's largest water park debuts Caribbean Cove. So, yeah, I don't even know where Six Flags Whitewater is. A new interactive water play complex, 4 water slides and more, 25 interactive water features. Six Flags Discovery Kingdom, it seems like they will be getting like this interactive rainforest trail. Transport guests to a lush tropical environment where they will encounter free-flying butterflies, colorful fish, a sloth, exotic wildlife, and apparently a new shark experience will be coming as well, where you can see shark species, fish, and stingrays from around the world. Six Flags Mexico will be debuting Heroes and Villains. Well, Heroes y Villanos Fest. With live music, and it will cover the water park and yeah, that's cool. The water park and the music park. Gaming and Coaster Fest will be there, so Six Flags is dipping into gaming. At least
Interesting.
Just don't make it VR, please, and put it on your coasters.
Yeah.
But the fun does not stop. Our brand new fun walks will give our guests more time to enjoy delicious food and thrilling attractions after the parks close. See, that's interesting. It almost feels like they're definitely catering like to specific parks much more than they ever have in the past. It was almost like, all right, here's 2 clones, here's 3 Jokers, here's like, you know. Now it feels like it's a lot more like they are making actually intelligent decisions with that aspect, right? I'm not like praising them here, but I'm giving them a little nudge on the shoulder. Six Flags Over Texas, I'm not even covering that. Welcome in, Power Wave. Six Flags New England, they're getting their own Dinosaurs Alive. They're getting this experience called Dino Off-Road Adventure, except we're not walking through it. It's gonna be like you're in, like, I'm assuming a Jeep or something. You're gonna be able to experience animatronic technology.
Yeah.
Yeah, guests will embark on an off-road journey with life-size dinosaurs, immersive environments, cutting-edge audio, interactive guides, educational elements. Six Flags St. Louis, they are getting a twisting the Rookie Racer. That's the Pescetti Bowl store, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
So we are high idiots because we did not look into the news to see if it is actually a Pescetti Bowl or not. It is not a Pescetti Bowl. It is a Vekoma family coaster. Vekoma breaking in to the States. Good to see. Good to see. But just a correction when we continue on with this news. Theirs is not as cool as Fiesta Texas and Over Georgia, unfortunately, because it's only one. But at least they're getting something, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, and this is where it goes on all participating Six Flags parks. It's not only spring break, it's screen break. At this elusive, spine-tingling after-hours event, guests can enjoy reduced wait times for some of the park's most thrilling rides and coasters, plus creepy haunted houses, frightening entertainment, and much more. I'm kind of laughing at can enjoy reduced wait times.
Right, they're literally like saying it's gonna be dead. Like what?
Like, how do you?
How are you gauging that?
Yeah.
What?
Like, you're just. That's just cap. Like, like that's blatant lie. Like, you're telling me that on a spring break at night, it's gonna be dead.
It's ridiculous.
But you're advertising an event at night. I'm confused. That seems kind of counterintuitive. That's a Six Flags moment. Six Flags is thrilled to share that there are a variety of new events taking place. So, yeah, they're going to be trying to do more events throughout the year. So, like, for Spring Break, they're going to try to do Flavors of the World. So, like, all the other events like Cedar Fair and SeaWorld does. So, they're trying to step up away from budget, it seems. Officially. That's what I'm getting from this. Like, whole slate. They're having a second annual Oktoberfest. They have a Kids Boo Fest now, so it's like what Cedar Fair does, where they have the family Halloween stuff from like opening to like 5 and then they transition over to Haunt.
Right.
Fright Fest and Holiday in the Park is coming back, and everything else is regular run of the mill. They have season passes officially from that too. So yeah, thoughts. So, like, my thoughts, really, it feels like this looks like an official effort and not just the BS we saw from last year of them trying to be on the same level as SeaWorld and Cedar Fair. An amusement park, not necessarily budget, but I'm not even sure, I guess. Maybe they're trying to make some of their parks, maybe they're trying to say, hey, some of our parks can be that. But who knows? What are your thoughts?
I'm not very sold.
I mean, I'm not necessarily sold, but I can see what they're doing, right?
I don't know. I think they've made a lot of mistakes lately, but I think that they're trending in the right direction if they like actually start to improve the parks more.
So I'm saying, because like this all seems decent, you know, like
Yeah.
maybe like obviously some parks needed like actual coasters, but I think Salim, that was literally Salim's plan, was to not add anything, so he had to do a quick U-turn and came up with this. They're probably already setting up stuff for 2024 with what's
Yeah.
happening with all the closures, with especially our home park, with Minor Racer and that whole section just being gone now.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's officially gone, but at least for next season, it's just looking like it won't really even exist. But that's one park that wasn't put on here. You guys are probably wondering, and they are teasing for a. Jeez, it's almost a month, man. A March 23rd
Yeah.
announcement.
It'll be like pretty soon after we get back from Florida, actually. Like
Yeah.
2 weeks from then.
So, I mean, you guys can look it up. From we actually know, so but we can't say. But it's kind of troll. That's all we'll say. That they are teasing this out of everything that they're teasing, or that they announced, and then they're teasing this.
Right. It's just funny that we actually know.
Uh, so yeah, so Six Flags next year, if they add a little more punch and the experience is better, like from this year, I'll have my eyes out. But there was no way in hell I was getting a Six Flags pass, and I'm going to Six Flags parks. Like, but there was no way in hell. Like, I'm like, no, there's no way. But
I just feel bad for anyone who bought those like really expensive passes that had terrible perks.
yeah, because there were points like even like unless you are Fiesta Texas or Magic Mountain, like every other Six Flags park, I would say, yeah, over Georgia too, over Georgia. Red Six Flags Park is like not like you look at their layout or their lineups, and it's almost like a decade in the past.
Yeah.
So now moving on to the Instagram questions. So least favorite ride type. And so then we put this up and we got 2 responses. And I thought it was so Aaron was funny. He put his, obviously if you saw last episode, B&M inverts, which I think that's a hot take, but to have your least favorite. But that is his least favorite. So what is yours actually? I don't even know. Your least.
It's kind of tough. Um, because you instantly want to go with B&M,
Bro. What
but like I gotta think. Hmm. I mean, SLCs are pretty bad. Like, I feel like it has to be like the realistic answer is an SLC.
I'm gonna say honestly.
Or the which wild mouse is it that really sucks? Let me check which. Hold on. Whatever Coast Rider is,
Uh,
gotta double check. The frickin' mock rides, wild mouses with the shin guards. I thought it wasn't that bad at first. Oh, disgusting. Abysmal.
so what's crazy is that one of the only few ones with a shin guard? Like, cause I swear
Yes,
Apple.
I'm pretty sure. Apparently there's 31 mock rides wild mouses.
Yeah,
So I know
cause
the King's Dominion one doesn't have shin guards,
yeah,
but
that's why I was curious. I was looking up. I'm like, is that a buck? So that one has shin guards for some reason.
yeah.
That sucks.
Like Sand Serpent at Tampa doesn't have shin guards. I don't believe the Ricochet at yeah, like Ricochet at Carowinds does not. Goofy Sky School at California Adventure does not. Although Goofy Sky School was very uncomfortable too. So
I've heard that ride is like even worse than like what's the one in Magic Kingdom?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I can't think of it right now. The Barnstormer. That's what it is.
Okay. I gotta go get that credit, I think. Speaking of which, I'm still not over having to wait 3 hours for Slinky Dog Dash.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, we got to go over your recaps because actually it's been how long since you even gone now? It's like about a week, too.
I think I've been back for a week today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been back for a week tonight.
But otherwise, the last Instagram question response was from Thrills of Virginia, AJ. SOCs. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Minor
Pretty
Racer
much.
is it's probably my bottom 3 I've ever ridden in my life. But I will say, I still think 4D free spins are my personal least favorite because I think I could get a good ride on a good SLC. You take a lap bar, you put a lap bar on there, or you put a good restraint, like the one I'm currently on Great Nor'easter, and the layout's good. I personally am not a fan of the 4D free spins. Just the big ones are too much for me, and Tumbili is never giving like just nerfs.
Tambili is better than Sky Rush.
Okay, we need to get on a shirt to be honest.
That sounds like a good idea. Something I'd wear. I'm gonna wear it to Hershey Park.
You need to get those re-rides, bro. Like, just ride the fuck out of it. Let yourself loose because, bro.
No, I you know I like Sky Rush now.
Yeah.
I'm just trolling.
Yeah.
But
we still need that on a shirt.
yeah. It'd make Thuzies mad, so it'd be worth it.
Exactly. Like, we need, like, inflammatory shirts. Like, just these shirts that will piss off Thuzies.
I know some certain takes that we could pull and put on a shirt. Not gonna shout them out, but
like we need it to where we need it to when we're wearing it, we see their we can just see their face and just see cringe as we're walking by, just like we're at events and stuff.
and it's like enthusiasts, so they're just non-confrontational, so they're just gonna be like innerly bitter. They're just not gonna say anything. Oh, that's great.
Like that God, that has to be like one of the first shirts, bro. Sky Rush is better, or Tambili's better than Sky Rush.
It's got to be like so like cartoonishly and like funnily designed too.
Like I honestly want to put the logos just like Tambili.
Put like an arrow, the little carrot to like signify, yeah, greater than sign.
That's perfect. Oh my god.
Oh god.
So, I guess we'll go. So you experienced it. So I'll go over the rant as it happens, but I'm not even sure I will rant about it really much anymore. But you went to Florida again because you just can't stop going to Florida.
I know. Believe me, I've got this Bucky's beef jerky right here in front of me.
Wait, did you get anything new from Bucky's? Like merch?
I did not, but I told you about the new merch last time we hung out.
Bro,
do you remember?
That's what I'm saying. Like, not only talking about the new merch, but like the fact they do refreshes so often.
Yes,
it's
like good.
Like it's so smart.
Bucky's is literally incredible. Like, I don't care what anybody says.
And they are criminals because they are stealing my money.
That's I wouldn't spend like another $75. I'm gonna do the same shit whenever we're down there next week.
Bro, I'm gonna keep my budget at 50 because I literally spent 100 there last time. Okay, 50 on the merch alone.
And then get the food. Yeah.
Yes, and then get the food. Because I'm gonna
Back
definitely.
to 100 again.
Because now
No
that
worries.
I taste tested like one of their main items of the brisket, I'm definitely gonna go more ham with what they got.
Yeah.
So yeah, you went to Bucky's and that was your trip. You just went there for Bucky's.
Nah, 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 nah. I mean, the the bulk of it was 4 days at Universal, but we also did Hollywood Studios, and I'll count it up, see how much we got. Looks like we got like 15 Velocicoaster rides and like 8 Hagrid's rides. I also got evac'd off Hagrid's, which
Bro.
was cool.
So 15 in 4 days.
Yeah. But we got like we did everything else too. We also did studios one day. So it was a good trip. It was solid. Hollywood Studios was, I thought that was interesting because within 2 weeks of each other, I did Rise of Resistance at Disneyland and I did it at Hollywood Studios within 2 weeks.
So what did you prefer then?
I mean, I still prefer Disneyland, sorry, 100%. I mean, honestly, Disneyland is just a lot better. Feels a lot better. I also liked their Tower of Terror better than I liked the one at Hollywood Studios.
No.
Yeah.
Shucks. Like
Guardians was just like better for some reason. I don't know. It was weird.
so you like the floatiness over just the straight drops? Because that's what the big
Yeah,
difference is. It's like it
yeah,
bounces more.
yeah. Pretty much.
So was it just more of a general? You went with your family, Orlando trip.
Yeah. It was just like chill, I'd say.
You said there were
But so
some
I'm looking
times. Oh,
looking
sorry.
forward to the one with the homies coming up.
Yep. You said you had to go to Disney sober though. That's rough.
I know. Yeah, it was. It was a complete sober day. Although all the Universal days were fried, so that was cool.
So what? But were your sister's just like, no, not at Disney.
No, it wasn't even that. I guess for some reason it just didn't work out. 2 minutes ago, guess who posted? The person that I was talking. And it's things Thuzies need to stop complaining about. And it's a list. You should go look at that.
I looked at it before the cast, bro. I was dying.
No, no, he posted 2 minutes ago.
Oh no, there's more.
Yeah.
Uh, hold up. Let me actually see this.
I like the one that says any minor vibration on a ride. Positive G's and laterals.
Uh,
It's just the most excellent shit posting. Truly unmatched.
he's the king.
Yeah.
He's the king of shitposts. Like it's just. So did Express? Did you feel like it affected you? Like,
Yeah, definitely on Monday and Wednesday when it was in place. Absolutely. Like without a doubt. But it wasn't like that big of a deal, you know? Because like for me, it's like basically a second home park. So I was just chilling, nice and cooked, having a good time in the line. No sweat.
bro, I'm not. I'm not sure exactly. Oh, I know where they have blue moons in uni, but I'm only gonna be getting like one in the park, bro.
Oh yeah, no, I know where they've got them too.
I know Burger Digs has a.
Yeah, they got like there's like a few places that have it on tap too. I don't think I'm gonna indulge in that much. Gotta save. Gotta save.
Yeah, I'm gonna be basically just chilling most of the trip. I might get like a few things or do a few stuff, but it's gonna be just a general like enjoying the park that I really wasn't able to on my. Well, I was able to enjoy the park obviously, but like legit chill. Like I'm not trying to vlog. I'm not trying to hit everything for the first time or stuff. I'm just vibing.
Yeah.
And there might be points where I might even trail off and just like get shots and reels and
Yeah.
stuff I wasn't able to do. But otherwise, I'm not even gonna rant now. I was gonna rant about skip the lines, but honestly, the only thing I will say, because that was the topic, is I think the best and only skip the line that worked was the Fast Pass that Disney got rid of.
Fair.
Like, it was, you take it, you come back 2 hours, it's as if you waited, you're doing other things in the park, and yeah, you get on.
Well, and that's basically how the attractions pass works at Universal for the most part.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Otherwise, that was basically it. I don't know if you have anything else to really cover. We're going
we
to Florida.
gotta think of a poll to put on the next cast.
Which should be the poll for a poll. What poll should we do for next cast?
Oh, a poll for a poll?
Yeah. Poll for a poll. Or just put it in the AI generator or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I know what we missed. We need to talk about we got a stumble and a wobble. Just like spread some awareness.
Oh, yes. So,
So the stumble is, oh, literally an hour ago, official Stumbles of Fun form came out for June 16th through the 18th. And then the other event is a wobble at Michigan's Adventure. And that is going to be, I guess, like the weekend July 14th through the 16th. So those are my two top priority events as of now.
yep. For out of state after this, yeah. Besides like the road trips to the parks in April and May, flying wise, that's going to be the next one I'm really looking forward towards. So
Yeah.
we're looking at flights probably soon for that. Then probably within the next month
Yeah.
in April. But yeah, like we said, Buzz Bars events, guys. Stumbles are fun. You guys got to come to this. Like these guys, like no events like it. If you were down for just tomfoolery,
Yeah.
these are your fellows. Otherwise, yeah. And then the wobble. My bad. And the wobble
Oh, yeah.
a month after, in July, literally almost a month after.
That's going to be amazing, taking over Shivering Timbers with just an amazing group of enthusiasts, not the bah humbug, give me ERT type people that don't actually care. So
They ride twice and then just
I just remember going to like the Pantheon video shoot with Ace and like just nobody could keep up after like 2 rides. Like it was just like crazy.
man, that's just like. I mean, I'm trying to think. The Fury just alone, we were just. I couldn't even keep up with the Buzz Bars and for the Fury Night Rides, and those were fucking blistering. To be fair, cold is my weakness, so Well, wobbles are smaller than Buzz Bar's events, but
And
they're,
this,
and it would be one of my first if I do go. But I want to go, man. Like they sound like a much more like from what Mike always describes, a much more personal and homey. Because it's not they're not
yeah,
as
I
big.
haven't. I have not done a wobble, but it sounds like there's some good people that are going to be there. Well, of course, there's going to be some good people there, but friends that like James and Timmy might be interested. So the guys over at Coaster Talk, so
Oh,
we
I
got to
didn't
get
know.
that planned. Yeah,
That would be
I
a
think
dummy move.
we'd end up doing Great America and Indiana Beach.
Oh, so you're trying to do
On,
that in
yeah,
July?
yeah, that would be July. June is, I think the only park other than Worlds of Fun for that stumble that I'm considering is Silver Dollar City. Unless something drastic happens, we'll see. We'll see.
Well, guys, a regular cast for episode 10. Thank y'all for listening, bros. By next time you hear us, we'll be recapping from Florida and whatever news and craziness is happening. Hopefully, Express doesn't cuck us. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have the rant then.
Hopefully we'll be coming back happy with a lot of rides on Velocicoaster
And
and Iron
Gwazi.
Gwazi. Yeah.
To ride my number one.
It's gonna be good.
And we need to find out how to see what Train 3 is.
Yes.
Hopefully it's not off or something. That would be unfortunate. But
Don't speak that into existence. Come on now.
I mean, I'm just thinking of everything, bro.
Oh,
But if you guys are watching this on the YouTube, go ahead and subscribe for more. We put this up every 2 weeks. You can also catch up on the rest of the cast, where we cover everything from the beginning. Oh, excuse me, from the haunts of last year all the way till now. So, if you like what we hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe. If you want to listen in a podcast format only, you can go and find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. Go ahead and follow our socials at the High Rollers DMV. And you can follow me at West Tower Coasters.
And you can find me at Old Line Airtime.
And guys, catch y'all in episode 11. Peace out. Stay homey.
Peace.